Episode 35. Todd, how's it going, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing, Brett?
Dude, it's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been too long.
I know, man. It's Christmas. A man went down.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. You celebrated that in style, right?
Yeah, I went down to Aruba.
Was that for Hanukkah?
Sure. Why not? You would think so because that entire island is Jewish. Like I've never seen anything like it. I felt like I was in East Manhattan.
So what? How long was the trip for?
It was a good time, dude. We went 5 nights.
5 nights?
Yeah, so it was legit.
Had your little beach bungalow?
Oceanfront suite at the Renaissance Marriott down there, and had a little private island that the hotel will take you to by boat. It's like 10 minutes away. Chilled in the pool bar. It was a good trip, man. Real good trip.
Wow, that's all from the revenue of the morning Hardwood, I assume.
Of course. I mean, you see how many viewers we got.
Yeah.
We even got cameras.
Yeah, we got cameras now. We got YouTube. We've got no Jerry. Eventually, all three of us are going to consistently be on this thing.
It's a tough thing to get 3 of us together.
Greatness happens, when all 3 of us are together, and I don't know if the world can handle it.
Once football season's over, Christmas season, the non-diehard NBA fan, really the NBA tips off on December 25th.
You're absolutely right, man.
So, the NBA kind of owns that day. It's really the official tip of the season. You got about 3/4 of the way left, and that's really. And once these bowls die down and the playoff in the NFL playoffs, when there's only 4 or 6 or 6 teams left, people are going to be jonesing for something.
And basketball should give it to them.
There, yeah.
So I want to give you a little chance to kind of give me some prophecy about this weekend, because I know I'm a diehard NBA fan, and like I was telling you before, like I don't even know what's going on in college. But you, on the other hand, you got a big weekend ahead of you.
Yeah, headed down to I-95 tomorrow. Headed down to the Orange Bowl, and gonna watch my Sooners whoop up on Clemson.
You been to the Orange Bowl before?
I have, and it has not been successful.
No, are you talking about the game you saw there?
Yeah, I've been to a national championship when we got blown out by USC in the Reggie Bush. But technically, that night never happened.
Yeah. What about?
And then we lost to Florida in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Orange Bowl has not been too kind to us. But our last national championship, we beat Florida State.
Well, how is that stadium in general?
I haven't been to it since. USC, that was 04.
I got
05.
Yeah.
I haven't been to it in 10 years.
I got you. So hopefully it's better.
Yeah, so they've, I mean, just like here, if you compared Everbank to what it was, Everbank Field where the Jaguars play to what it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, night and day.
It would be night and day. So yeah, I'm assuming that with all the big events that Sun Life Stadium gets, it's gonna be pretty nice.
All right. Well, dude, I'm happy for that. I'm happy for your trip, man. I'm happy you're here. It's been about 3 weeks, and
y'all bailed on me. I was ready to go coming back from Aruba. I
did
did some pre-game or pre-show prep on my way back to Aruba to figure out what I missed. I didn't even really miss all that much. When I was in Aruba, I even bet at the sports book. I just had an inkling that the Bucks were gonna knock off the Warriors.
Oh yeah, you made that bet?
I made that bet. The Bucks straight up.
Wow.
To win. I mean, I put like $100 on it. It paid like $160. It wasn't that big of a deal. I lost it. Don't worry, but I did win that one.
Well, you're well dressed, Todd, and like anybody watching on YouTube right now can see. I mean, me and Jerry weren't lying. You're a handsome motherfucker. Like, well, me myself.
I don't have the sleeves that.
No,
I don't have those arms that Jerry's got.
No, neither of us do.
He puts work in for those.
Yeah,
arms.
I mean, maybe one of our legs weighs as much as his body, but his arm alone.
What are you weighing in now?
I'm at a good solid 250.
Yeah, I'm pushing that 230 smart.
Yeah, or I'm at 230. I'm at 230, and I'm going to try to get it down. For the new year. It's going to be tough though.
I'm just gonna go balls to the wall until July 1st, or not July, January. Well, when you go back, you go back January 4th, right? So January 3rd is the last Sunday. Yeah, balls to the wall, fat as fuck until January 4th.
All right, I mean, you got a big thing going on.
Yeah.
I tried to cut it down. I failed. You know, going into the Christmas break.
Oh yeah,
I got sick and I had to eat.
I had this thought in my mind at the beginning of January, like, yo, if I could just cut 10 pounds before the Christmas, then I could get fat as fuck. But I didn't cut the pounds, and then I just got fat as fuck.
Dude, as men in our 30s now, Todd, it's gotten rough, hasn't it? Like our weight doesn't fluctuate; it just creeps
just
up.
Gets bigger.
It just keeps creeping up.
Well, I was telling Sarah's pregnant, my wife's pregnant, and I was telling her that
doesn't mean you got to eat.
I was telling her that I was just trying to make her feel better about her body by growing a belly of myself.
Yeah, so, you guys can have twins.
That's the justification I'm going with.
I like it. You know. Well, I mean, we're gonna start on today's show. We're gonna go review the standings like we always do. In the second half of the show, we're gonna look at the first set of All-Star votes came out. So we're gonna kind of go break down position by position. I mean, the new All-Star format is front court, back court, but we're gonna stay traditional to all 5 positions and kind of tell you who's making an impact in the league, who you need to watch, who you might need to watch going out. But as we go over the standings, Todd, let's start in the Eastern Conference. And it's like me and Jerry have been saying the last few months, the power has definitely switched.
Oh, yeah.
There's 10 teams over 500 right now. Every time we look at these standings, you know, somebody else is at number 2. And Cleveland is clearly the number 1 team. Like, that's no doubt. But out of the rest of the jumble, like, do you want to call anybody a for sure in the next tier? Like, I mean, look at these teams. I mean, who is in the next tier?
Well, to me, the second best team in the league is the Indiana Pacers. They have probably the third best player in the world, arguably.
Yeah, I would say so.
If he's not the third, you could definitely make a legitimate argument that behind Steph Curry and LeBron James, Paul George is the best player in the world.
Yeah, right up there. I mean.
So yeah, NBA is a star league, so I'm gonna go with the star and Indiana Pacers. And I mean, they got Monte Ellis, and they're
playing
nice
like
squad, dude.
They're playing like Golden State East. I mean, when you think about it, because they're playing 4 out.
Yeah.
I mean, with Paul George and I forgot who the other guy is playing basically the power forward by committee.
Right.
And so they're playing that fast-paced ball, and like he's spreading them out, and I mean, dude, he's changed his whole offense. I mean, the Indiana Pacers with Roy Hibbert and David West used to be slow it down.
Yeah.
And now with Monte Ellis, they're a whole new team now. A whole different type of team.
Whole new team. And, I can't say that I've watched a lot of Indiana Pacers basketball this year, but I watched them when Monte Ellis had his revenge tour against the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks shut him out in the first half, and he scored 22 in the second. And they blew us out by 30.
Yeah.
So I was impressed with them. The Hawks to me are the Hawks of last year.
Yeah.
You know, not going to do anything in the playoffs. Going to have a great regular season. Miami to me is intriguing. Dwayne Wade went to St. Augustine and got himself a little drink of that Fountain Youth.
Yeah, he did. He's playing really good this year.
Yeah. Chris Bosh is playing out of his mind, and the complementary players are playing good ball.
Hassan Whiteside's been playing good, solid rim protection.
Yep, and
the only guy not playing good is my guy, Goran.
Yeah.
The only guy in the Heat really not contributing well. Justin Winslow's getting a little tough.
Yeah, the kid from Duke is playing good, and they even got that Puerto Rican backup point guard. He's been there forever. He was on the D League.
Chalmers? Not Chalmers.
No. Anyway, it's not important, but he's contributing. I mean, they got contributors all over the floor. The Chicago Bulls are kind of I don't know who are the Chicago Bulls.
They don't know. They don't know who they are.
I am so confused at Chicago Bulls, and I am so confused about the whole Derrick Rose thing. Every time I flip on ESPN or NBA Network, everybody's talking about how Derrick Rose is not fitting in with Chicago. Well, you better make him fit in.
Yeah, because nobody's trading for him.
Yeah,
and nobody's giving Chicago what they want for him. So that's one thing Chicago's
he can come to Dallas. But
who are you going to give up?
Darren Williams. No, you can have Darren
Williams. Chicago wants the world for it. That victory tour is gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
The comeback tour is gone, huh?
Yeah, it's over.
Well, I mean, as we looked at this, what I noticed was Boston Celtics.
Yeah, what about Boston? Playing great basketball.
Yeah, they have the second longest winning streak right now at 4 games. And, I mean, Boston, had that incredible game against Golden State. But they're another team that doesn't know what they are either.
I think they know what they are. They're junkyard dogs.
They are junkyard dogs, man, and that just doesn't. You can't beat Cleveland with that.
Well, nobody's beating Cleveland in the East. I mean, it's all a beauty pageant for who's going to make the Eastern Conference Final. Nobody is beating Cleveland.
Well, as we look at the standings, I want to touch on a couple more things.
I mean, if you really look at the East to the West, yes, Golden State is the best team in basketball. Yes, the Eastern Conference is probably the better conference right now in basketball. That's crazy to say, but Cleveland has a much better chance. I would say Cleveland has a 95% chance of making the NBA Finals. I would say Golden State has like a 65% chance.
I would go that even with one loss, they're just going to have a tougher road to climb.
Well, they have the Spurs. Spurs are legit, dude.
And if the Spurs or Thunder fall to that 4th seed, I mean, you don't want to see either of them in the second round.
Yeah, and they have the Thunder, yeah.
So, I mean, but staying in the East, a couple disappointments as I kind of look at the standings is the Wizards are at the 11th spot.
That's
Detroit,
a shocker.
Yeah, Detroit. I mean, they're only separated by a couple games here.
Detroit's playing good basketball.
Detroit's playing good basketball. I mean, they're only separated by a loss, and from the 2 seed, Atlanta Hawks have 13 losses. To out of the playoffs, Detroit has 14 losses.
Yeah.
So that's how close it is from 2nd to 10th.
I would say the biggest disappointment of the East are the Milwaukee Bucks.
Them and the Knicks.
Yeah.
Them and the Knicks.
I wouldn't say the Knicks are disappointments.
With all the hype that came into it, with all the excitement we had for our man 3-6 Lativa.
I mean, but if you're a Knicks fan, you're excited.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I wouldn't be.
Yes.
Yeah,
I hear you. Like every time I'm like, you better watch out for the Knicks, and then I look at the standings and they're like 14th in the East.
How bad is Carmelo, man?
He's not terrible. I guess he is.
I mean, he is.
Yeah,
you cannot.
He is terrible.
Look at the teams in front of you. Like,
yeah,
the Magic are there.
Yeah, I kind of like the Magic squad though.
The Magic squad is kind of coming around,
and they're put together through the draft. They've drafted well over the past 3 or 4 years. And they're signing their players to their second contracts because I think the Magic are put together well. They're never going to do anything.
Well, let me ask you something.
Together well.
For a sport as a whole,
I see you've officially changed.
Yeah, I have. As a sport as a whole, when Dwight Howard got traded, Orlando got a bunch of picks, a couple players, a couple bodies. Is there any sport where trading away your best player ever works out to their advantage?
Sure. That's the Dallas Cowboys when they traded Herschel Walker. And they got
good point.
Yeah, so, yes.
But
in basketball, no.
Basketball never works.
Because it's a one-man show. I mean, ask the Miami Heat about that. Miami Heat have 2 future Hall of Famers on their team. They lost the best player on their team. And they
didn't make the playoffs last year.
They're a fringe playoff team.
Yeah, and then I guess going back to, granted, OKC was that damn good, but they traded, I don't know, I guess their third banana.
He was definitely a third banana.
And God, they can't even sniff. Granted, they've dealt with injuries, but.
Yeah, and I think they'll be back this year. I think they'll be a contender.
Well, they're definitely back.
I think they'll be a contender in the playoffs this year.
All right, well, let's go to the West. And guess who has the longest winning streak in the NBA now?
That's a good question.
It's not hard. It's not hard to.
Am I overthinking it?
You're overthinking it.
The Spurs? No, it's not the Spurs. They lost on Christmas Day.
Who would you think has the longest winning streak in the NBA right now?
Golden State. That was a while ago.
Warriors!
Yeah.
It is them.
Yeah.
So already, 25 games or 26 games wasn't enough.
The Magic don't have the longest streak?
No. The Warriors have the longest winning streak in the NBA once again. Which is like...
It's pretty freaking incredible.
It is. And it's like, God dang. Like, is anybody going to come in and challenge these guys?
Not under Luke Walton.
No, not under Luke Walton.
Luke's got them boys playing.
He does got them playing. And then, I mean, it's like you said, though. Like San Antonio, they lost Christmas Day. But they're only 3.5 games back to a 26-game winning streak. So, like...
San Antonio could care less what anybody other in the NBA is doing right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They could care less. I see Pop, when they play each other, benching everybody.
Yeah, I could see that just to hold his cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a Pop thing to hold his cards like that.
You know, TNT's going to have the game. People are going to pay like $150 for some lower bowls. And, you know, you're going to get nothing but D-leaguers starting.
Oh, I guarantee that.
Yeah.
You know, as we kind of look at it, we got San Antonio, like you said, or like we said, you know, they just lost Christmas Day. Oklahoma City's right there. Got the Clippers at number 4, and got your Mavericks hanging around at number 5.
A 3-game winning streak?
Yeah, 3. I mean, but
we play Golden State tomorrow night.
Oh no,
it's gonna be a travesty.
Point spread. What do you think? What do you think they can cover?
It's at Dallas. So
it's at Dallas.
It's at Dallas, so I'm guessing the point spread's probably going to be like 11.
Wow.
9, maybe?
I could see it. I could see it. But can they cover that?
No.
No.
They are so much better. Like, the Warriors are so much better than the Mavericks.
God, even with Zaza?
Even with Zaza, man. I mean, the Mavericks are good. But there's such a difference in between them and the Spurs. And everybody else. And then I maybe create their own category for the Thunder. And the Clippers got to show me something.
Yeah, the Clippers.
The Clippers got to show me something. I feel DeAndre Jordan's having his second remorse tour. He realizes that he got sold a bunch of goods, and he's never going to be a focal point to that offense.
No.
And he would have been in Dallas. And he wishes he was a Maverick right now. And it's creating turmoil in the locker room.
Oh, absolutely, man. And just that team in general, they're all kind of just...
They're
the same team.
Doc's got too much power. He's a coach. He's not a good GM. You know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And as we kind of round out the standings, my Houston Rockets, you know, I'm going to come back around on them.
They're hanging around.
They're at 7. They're in the playoffs after a horrible start.
Yeah, they've made a nice little run.
And then we got the Utah Jazz to... Are you surprised?
No. The only thing I'm surprised about the Utah Jazz is, as I said at the beginning of the year, I didn't think the Utah Jazz would make the playoffs. But, you know, I didn't realize that the Pelicans were going to be this terrible.
Yeah, they are not. They came out limping, and then ever since then they can't get it going.
Yeah, you know, so
sometimes when you got a flat tire, that car ain't ever going to run right.
Yeah, you know, so I thought the top 8 seeds were pretty clear in the West. You know, substituting Utah for New Orleans, but they're
pretty much set.
Not really. They're really only 4.
I think 6. I think the top 6 are set.
New Orleans is only 4 games back from the 8 seed.
Wow.
I mean, the 8 seed right now is 13-16, and they're 10-21.
Yeah, I get. I mean, it's like you said, basketball just started.
Yeah.
So
it's not over. You know, like Kobe says, mathematically, the Lakers still got a chance.
Yeah.
I love Kobe, man.
God,
I'm
man.
going to miss that guy.
Well, guys watching on YouTube, I'm probably going to insert the clip from Jordan. My computer just died, so I'm not going to be able to give that audio to you guys listening on the podcast. But
that's some great producing,
dude. It would not be RCR Radio if this wouldn't have happened.
I'm glad the computer was up for the pre-show.
Yeah,
that was very important.
If you guys didn't have to discuss,
it's very important fantasy football.
Oh man, the greatest. Well, here it's back on. So
there we go.
So here, but before we get to that, let me tell you guys: if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on RCRRadio.com, do us a favor. You know, I know you guys got some money this Christmas, so why not spend it with us? You know,
might as well.
You know,
you can still get yourself something good.
God, Todd needs to go back to Aruba, guys. You know, so
I need a razor.
Yeah. So how you do that is you just shop on Amazon like you normally would, but you go to RCRRadio.com, you click the Amazon banner, and you shop like you normally would. You don't need to sign up. You just go ahead and shop, and you buy what you normally would, and a little bit of that goes into our pockets.
Yeah, so when you're looking for your Oklahoma Orange Bowl victory hat and shirt, Just click on Amazon first. Click on that banner. Boom. Done.
Absolutely. Well, me and Todd will be back, and going into the break, I'll let you hear Michael Jordan.
I just want to congratulate you on an unbelievable career. I think when I look back, and the first time we actually played against each other, and the competitive drive that I saw within your eyes, even though the knowledge wasn't quite there yet, it was very invigorating. And I'm very happy to leave you this message to say how much we are very proud of what you've accomplished over the years. I think most people don't realize you were drafted by Charlotte Hornets, so that connects us with you. I've always been like a big brother, and you like a little brother. We communicate all the time. I just want to say congratulations. Your next step in your next career is going to be something that I'm pretty sure you're going to have to figure out. From the competitive standpoint, I'm pretty sure you're just like me. You're going to have to find other ways to utilize that competitive drive. But I want to congratulate you and Vanessa and the girls. You've been a big help to the game of basketball. You helped the NBA. You helped promote it. I'm pretty sure you got a lot of fans all over the world. I am a big fan. I still love watching you play. I'm very, very happy for you and what you've accomplished within the game. And I look forward to seeing what you do next. If you ever need me, you know my number. Let's stay in touch. I wish you the best. And have a great game tonight. Not too good of a game. But I want you to stay healthy. And as I said a couple weeks ago, it's your last year. Just have fun. Take it a day at a time. Enjoy it. And look forward to seeing what you do after this. Take care. Good luck.
All right, well, so there was the great one, MJ, giving his way too long speech of his Kobe appreciation. Takes me back to his Hall of Fame speech.
The greatest Hall of Fame speech.
It was the greatest Hall of Fame speech of all time. And
Oh, yeah.
It'll never, ever be one topped.
No, just shitting on everybody, and I feel like he kind of did that to Kobe there, like
A little bit.
yeah, he called him little brother.
He can't help himself.
No, he can't. But he should. He's the greatest.
Which I respect.
Yeah, he's the greatest, and he's gonna let everybody know.
Which I respect.
Well, Todd, we're trying to get these into about a half-hour format, so I know we kind of drug through the first half a little bit, but we're gonna try to plow through this part. What happened this past week was the first bit of the All-Star votes came out, like I was saying before, and they do it by front court, back court. So let me get your opinion on that first, Todd. Like, what do you think about just the position they're calling them out? Because I mean, when we were kids, there were 5 positions.
I'm fine with it. I've warmed up to it.
Warmed up to
I've
it?
warmed up to it. When they first started doing it, I wasn't really a fan, but it's really a front court, back court game.
It is.
I mean, who's the best center in the game? You know what I mean? Like, Draymond Green has an argument.
Yeah.
He's not even a center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, hey, sure, I'm fine with it.
You're fine with it, and like,
what about you?
I'm kind of old school, man. I'm kind of old school in my thinking, and it's just like, I mean, I get that they have to do it this way because, like, I mean, as we're gonna run through the 5 positions, kind of keep this in some old school format. Is like you'll see, like when we get to the center position, Todd, there is nobody there. So like none of these guys really belong in the All-Star game, but a couple of these guys might make it.
Yeah, I mean, I see Dwight Howard's name, and Anthony Davis. I mean, he's playing great, but that's just really more name recognition than anything. So yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with it. The best thing about all of these notes that I see in front of me is that Kobe is pretty much doubling everybody. He's got to. It's the NBA All-Star voting. It's the most corrupted. I like that. I like that at least. I mean, I feel like that the fans that vote for us are relatively young.
Then I would be surprised that Kobe's got this many votes.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow, that is.
They're young or Asian.
Definitely Asian, because a lot of the votes come out of China.
Yeah, so I would tell you, I mean, how many of Kobe Bryant's 725,000 votes came from Asia?
And that might have been another backhanded thing Jordan said, was like all his fans around the world.
Hey, but Kobe is a very smart dude. He speaks a couple languages. He's, when he goes to China, dude, it's like the Pope's coming to town.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's pretty crazy. So I'm just happy to see Kobe getting some love, and finally he's going to get a starting position in his last All-Star, and I hope he's healthy enough to continue that to an actual real vote when Jerry Colangelo takes on the USA team that's going down to Brazil. I hope he's a part of that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Well, Todd, I'm going to run through the 5 positions, kind of give you some names, and I kind of want to get your opinion on where do you think these guys kind of fall in. And as we start at the point guard position, I mean, there's no doubt Steph Curry's at the top of that list. I don't think. Yeah. Now, out of these next few names, who do you like the best? There's Russell Westbrook. There's Kyle Lowry. There's Isaiah Thomas.
Russell Westbrook.
By far, but I struggle to find the next tier because Chris Paul's having a down year as far as statistically.
He's still a great player.
Absolutely a great player, but
Irving hasn't played enough this year. I think he's probably the next guy as far as the
skill level for sure.
The pecking order goes, but as far as this year, John Wall's certainly down. Jimmy Butler's playing great basketball. He's right up there. Dwayne Wade's playing great basketball.
Yeah, and we'll get to the shooting guard, but as a point guard, there's just these guys. These guys
we're going old school by position.
Yeah, we're going by position, and there's not really that many. I mean, Rondo there for a second was killing it with assists.
Stop it.
With assists and being a true. I mean,
no,
he's got 11.1 a game.
He's dead to me.
Well, he's making a renaissance as far as his assists are concerned.
He's dead to me.
I mean, he may have some choice words for certain officials, but that's his thing. Let's go to the shooting guard. Here the talent kind of picks up a lot. There's James Harden, there's Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler, and then I went with Nicholas Batum, C.J. McCollum, and Monte Ellis. Those are 6 good names out there. Are 3 heavy names, I feel like.
Yeah.
Any of those names you feel like belong or don't belong, or you can add to it?
I don't think Nicholas Batum has done enough. He's played some good ball. This is really his first year that he's really had a chance to shine away from 2 superstars on his team after signing with the Hornets this year.
And once I forgot the player that tore their knee, but once he tore his knee, he had a real chance to step in there.
Yeah, this year or last year?
This year at the beginning of the year, I forgot who it was.
For the Hornets?
For the Hornets, and they all thought he was a big glue guy for them, and so Nicholas Batum kind of took his role in and was able to kind of make some things happen.
Jeremy Lin's been playing.
Jeremy Lin has. Yeah.
So, as far as shooting guard, I mean, I would put DeMar DeRozan over those guys.
I completely forgot about him. You're absolutely right.
I think Jimmy Butler is probably the best 2 guard in the game.
Yeah.
As of right now, Klay Thompson is certainly putting up the numbers and all that, but how much of that is a Steph Curry effect? Jimmy Butler does it on both ends of the court, and he's really I say that, but then Kawhi Leonard pops in my head. He's the best 2 guard in the league.
Yeah.
And it's really not even close.
Yeah. And that's when we get to the heavy position. I'm going to save the small forward position for the last position we go over.
So what do you put Leonard as a small forward?
Yeah.
Is that what you got listed?
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard.
To me, because he plays more of the 2 guard to me than...
Yeah, because, you got Ginobili coming off the bench.
Yeah, he handles the ball awful lot to be considered a small
Well, he's the focal point of their offense now.
Yeah. And how many guys, how many guys have we talked about in the NBA over the past years that are just lockdown defenders? Top flight, the top 5 defenders in the league. And then they become the focal point of the offense, and their defense just slides just a hair. Not that they're not great defenders anymore, but they're not they got more responsibilities. They'll be like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
You can get that, my man. I gotta score 28 tonight.
I meant
Jimmy Butler's
Jimmy.
Defense,
yeah, I was
Jimmy
gonna say Jimmy Butler's the JV
good.
version.
He's a very good defender, but he's not what he was 2 years ago.
No,
Leonard still is.
He's getting better. He's younger.
Leonard is and he's arguably the focal. Him and
LaMarcus
are the focal point of that team, which is crazy to say from the Spurs after years and years and over a decade of hearing about the Big Three. The Big Three are a side story to the Spurs.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, and it's this new group that's taking
They're just not sexy, so they're never going to get any love.
Oh, yeah. Well, power forward is kind of packed, too. I mean, we got DeMarcus Cousins, Kevin Love, Blake Griffin, Anthony Davis, Dirk Nowitzki, LaMarcus Aldridge, and probably the most valuable of them all is Draymond Green, who probably I would slot him at power forward just because they start with Bogut.
You're putting Anthony Davis at center?
I got Anthony Davis in the power forward position because they still roll out with what's his face, Omar Osik. The Pelicans start with Omar Osik, so Anthony technically slides into that power forward role, you know, as a starter. Out of that group, Todd, I mean, that's a good group of players.
Are you talking about small forward or?
I'm talking about power forward.
Power forward.
We're at power forward.
Who do I think is the best power forward in the
out of that group, or just in general out of that list of names?
Anthony Davis.
This year, though?
Yeah.
Still? All right.
Sure.
All right. I mean, Blake's having a down year.
You can make an argument for DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when I'm looking over this list, it's not like any are wowing me. I mean,
Yeah.
Dirk's obviously on the second half of his career. LaMarcus is in a different role, and it's like he's a cog in the system. He's not the guy.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Anthony Davis is still the premier power forward in the NBA.
Yeah. All right, Todd. Well, we're going to get to center. And center is where, like I said, like the fucking ledge falls off.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. This is why they went to front court, back court.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubt.
Yeah, and it's guys like Andre Drummond, Marc Gasol, Nikolai Vujicic is in this list to me, man. Hassan Whiteside, Al Horford. And then we got to put our man Karl Anthony Towns. You know, and like to put a rookie up in like the elite centers is like that tells you how far the center position has dropped. And I'm not even putting my man Dwight Howard in here.
No, and he's still probably the best out of them all.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still probably the best center in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Andre Drummond is making a name for himself as far as the rebounds are concerned.
He's a one man. He's a one trick pony, though, man.
That one trick.
It's a one trick is a dominant trick.
Yeah, yeah.
No doubt.
He's at 16 rebounds a game, man.
And he gets so many offensive boards and keeps so many possessions alive. He's a valuable piece to any team. I'm not trying to underestimate him at all, but I'm just,
it's like I was telling Jerry. I watched the Detroit game, and he's the biggest guy in the court. And like you said, like he misses a shitload of shots, so he gets to tap in a lot of shots. Yeah, that helps the rebounds.
Yeah, no doubt. His field goal percentage is right up there with the best ones. So.
Yeah, I mean you got. I mean, when you're that close, you should make a lot of them. Now we're gonna hit the hard or the heavy.
We didn't even talk about DeAndre Jordan.
I wouldn't put him up there this year.
Yeah.
Would you? I know you wouldn't want to.
Hey. Everybody's got to deal with consequences of decisions they've made.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. All right, well, is small forward, which is the heaviest one in the NBA in my mind, and that's really heavy at the top four, which is LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, Paul George. And a step down, I would go Carmelo Anthony and then Gordon Hayward. I can't really think of anybody else that belongs in this kind of list. But out of those first four, I mean, you said it. Paul George might be arguably the third best player in the league. Dude, I don't know where you can go wrong with those four.
No, I mean you're talking about two of the best three players in the world, in my opinion, with LeBron James and Paul George. Carmelo Anthony is not in the same tier as those two guys. You got Kevin Love. He's playing great basketball. Him and LeBron are certainly playing well next to each other. And when Kyrie comes back, I think that will even gel.
It'll just give LeBron a break
a little bit more. But yeah, as far as front court in the East, power forward position, it's LeBron and Paul George and whoever else you want.
Kevin Durant, man, where does he fall on this list? Because this guy was an MVP a couple years ago.
Well, in the West, he's right there.
But I'm just talking about, like, could you say he's the best out of those four? I mean, if someone said like I like Kevin Durant over LeBron, Kawhi, and Paul George, would you? Is that could someone make an argument for that?
I think the argument would be if you're starting your franchise today, and you had the option of LeBron James, Paul George, Kevin Durant, and who was
Kawhi Leonard.
And Kawhi Leonard. I don't think there's much debate. I think 9 out of 10 you're getting Kevin Durant in that answer. Right?
Yeah, because I mean, you don't want the Scottie Pippen 2.0.
I mean, LeBron is.
But Scottie did have a hell of a year without Jordan.
But who are you talking about?
I'm just talking about like
who
where
are you comparing.
I'm thinking
Scottie to
Kawhi Leonard. Because now that Kawhi's like molded his game offensively,
there's just no way I could ever take Kawhi over Kevin Durant ever.
I think you're right.
I don't even think it's. I think they're in two different atmospheres in my mind. And I love Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, dude. I
think he's a great player, but Kevin Durant, I mean, Kevin Durant's a beast.
Dude, yeah, and that MVP season, like, I mean, he's shown flashes of it this year, so I'm pretty excited. And I'm excited for the rest of the season, Todd. I mean, now that football's kind of coming to an end, I mean, I know you got a big college game. The college season's going to go on another couple weeks, but,
yep.
Dude, NBA basketball is a beautiful thing, and
I'm really looking forward to it. And the parity in the league has never been better.
Oh, it came overnight. It seemed like
the East is just
overnight the East has become like really fun to watch. As far as like,
the West is just like who's going to make the playoffs in the West? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, for the past 3 years, I mean, the 8th seed in the West has had 50 wins. That ain't happening this year.
No, absolutely not. It seems all the wins are going up to Golden State. Well, I think we're going to put this one in the books, Todd. Episode 35 is done. Next week we should have Jerry back. We should have all three of us back. Like you said, we've only had one episode with all three of us.
It's been tough.
It has been tough, but we're going to get this thing on back on track for you guys. So you guys watching on YouTube, send us a like. Tell us your friends you're watching. Tell them that there's a new podcast you guys that talks about the NBA that's out there. You guys listening normally on RCRRadio.com, be sure to go to Amazon. And Todd, good seeing you, my man.
Yeah, man.
And now, a 6'6" guard